Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. It's Friday night episode of TV, baby. Okay guys, we are ready to do some glassing. The first thing we got to do is make sure we get all that dust off of there. Take the brush. Brush it kind of vigorously. I want to take, this is my 3/4 ounce cloth. I get this from Thayercraft. THAYERCARFT.com. Free shipping. Good price on this stuff. Gets here fast, usually in a couple days. Got everything from 1/2 ounce up to 60, 80 ounce. He's got it all. Best price I've ever seen. Okay. This first coat, guys. Just kind of spread it out a little bit thick at first because we got to allow for some to soak into the cloth. We got to saturate that cloth. If you don't, you'll have dry spots. We don't like dry spots. We don't like dry spots. So I like to get it on a little bit heavier at first, guys, but you can't leave it on there. That's breaking rule number 2. Don't leave it on there heavy. What it wants to do is your fiberglass will always float, end up floating in your resin. It just won't stay on the bottom like you think it would. You know, people think, well, nice heavy coat, that stuff will smooth out. No, guys, it don't. You'll have speed bumps. That's where that ripple comes in. You know why? Because where it's thicker, the resin's thicker, and it dries faster than the thin places, and it just makes it do that. So I like to get it on there a little bit heavy at first. Still using my foam. You really got to get it out past your edge. You got to get the resin out past your edge a little bit because it trims just so much nicer. Where I got this fiberglass on the inside, that'll just be a razor sharp corner. You'll cut yourself if you ain't careful. That's how we want it. But we basically, you don't want to get a lot of extra resin. You don't want to leave a lot of extra resin, I should say. But you got to kind of work it around a little bit. And you can see the dry spots. Okay, but see like that little puddle right there? If I left that, even if you take down the high spots, what'll happen is that fiberglass floats up. And there'll be some speed bumps there. And you'll try and work them out and they won't go out because where that resin's thick, it sets up first. It builds up more heat and then sets up first before where it's thin, and it just don't work out good that way. I need to go get me some new scissors so I can delegate them orange ones to my wet scissors. Wet scissors is what I get. I don't mind getting wet epoxy on them. The dry scissors only cut dry stuff. Do that and you'll always have one good pair of scissors. Okay, then on this leading edge, you gotta at least go halfway. Because I don't like to totally wrap the whole piece of glass, you know, around the other side, because that's just more body work. But even right here, this lightweight cloth goes around these corners pretty good. Okay, now it's all spread in. It's had a chance to soak for a minute. Like that. Wrinkle out there, it's going the wrong way. Okay, now we're going to scrape it down pretty hard. We don't want no extra resin in there. Scrape it off in your cup. You just scrape off as much as you can. And guys, I've glassed hundreds of airplanes in my days. And I've got this technique refined. Trust me, I didn't have no one showing me how to do this. And this Z-epoxy resin, guys, this is the best finishing resin I've ever used. That stuff, just that no label stuff in the hobby shop, garbage. I think it's just 30-minute epoxy is all it is. It's too thick. It don't soak into the wood. It just, I hate it. It's just garbage. If it came down to me not being able to get this today, I would have had to order some. I would have waited a week before I would use that other stuff. I really would. So that's your tip of the day. Use only Z-epoxy. Okay, got this one done. Now I gotta jump over to these other parts right away because they're ready for their second coat. Now, see, that stuff's still gonna soak into that wood a little bit. Okay, what we got is this. Okay, this is just almost set up all the way. But the only thing wrong with it, this is just one coat glass, one coat of resin. It's full of pinholes right now. There's a million of them. Now, if you wait too long, this don't work real good. It wants to fisheye and stuff. You gotta catch it when it's still sticky, but don't stick to your fingers. Then you come in here and just work it. You work it, baby. Just smash it into all them pores, every one of them. See, now it's got some resin on the wood. It's almost set up. Nothing else is going to soak into the wood. Okay, so this resin I'm putting on right now is going to stay. The fiberglass ain't going to soak up no more. The wood ain't going to soak up no more. So this is going to stay. And there's not one pinhole in there now. Not one. But there's just a window to do this, guys. If you wait too long, it don't work as good. It'll fish eye and everything else. but you got a couple hours, a couple 3 hours, kind of depending on the temperature outside. And you just work it. Gonna press hard. Force it in all them pinholes. And make sure you get your glue past your edge. That's a biggie. That is a biggie. Because if you don't, it just leaves a frayed cut. Now the reason this is a different color now, is just because we got some air mixed into it. See the different color? Just because it's got some air mixed into it. Okay, so this is coat number 2. Well, that's it. Now we can just let this dry totally. Guys, and what we're actually doing here, we're not, with this 3/4 ounce cloth, we're not trying to add no structure, okay? Alls we are doing is gluing the grain of this wood together to keep it from naturally wanting to split as it dries, and putting a perfectly even coat of resin over the top of that wood. That's all we're doing. If you're needing this fiberglass cloth to make your stuff strong, you built your plane wrong. You don't really get no strength out of this. This is like as strong as monocoat. But I know some guys used to, a long time ago, glass without fiberglass cloth. And I've seen a couple guys do it. This one guy a long time ago, he built this Spitfire, Pica Pittsfire. And then he put 2 coats of resin on it with no glass. I couldn't believe he did it. He was all happy about it, you know, and thought it was a great idea. And about a month later, that thing started cracking. You see just cracks in the wood where the grain, you know, this light fiberglass cloth holds that grain together. It will not let it dry and separate and split. And it just gives you a nice, perfect, even, smooth coat of resin. That's all you're trying to do. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and bless this other one. I just wanted to go ahead and get them done because they was ready to go. Yeah, guys, man, you guys are in the market for some fiberglass cloth. Definitely need to check out their craft. You know, I was getting a lot of my cloth through Associated. Not anymore. You gotta kind of mix it up, it almost seems like, you know, because Associated is a lot cheaper on their resin and cheaper on their other stuff, but their fiberglass cloth is, you know, I still get it. I still was getting a good price on it. Cheaper than I can get it at most places on the internet from Associated. Till I found this Theracraft. You know how I found it? I googled fiberglass surplus. Anything if I'm looking for air cylinders, guys, air cylinder surplus. If I'm looking for carbon fiber surplus. That's always where I start. That's always going to be your best prices, rather than Googling composite supplies. You know, but that's your last resort there, composite supplies. Then you're going to get like Fiberglass, which has got some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong, they're a good business, they're just kind of pricey. Some people might be rich and it don't matter to them, but I'm not rich. A lot of everyone thinks I'm rich. I am not rich, guys. I'm the poorest man in modeling. I just love this stuff, man. I just love this stuff. I can put in a long old day and it just ain't work to me. If my body would just keep up with what my mind wants to do. I guess it's just growing old though, you know. And this lightweight cloth kind of wants to wander on you a little bit. There's kind of a knack to getting out of them wrinkles, to getting the wrinkles out. And sometimes you got to pull this way, sometimes you got to pull that way, sometimes you got to pull at an angle. And just kind of, once you do it a few times, you see it in advance, you know. So it's kind of light right there. I could see light spots. No light spots. I'm going to give all this stuff a good old sanding today. Some 120 grit and a block. Well, the seams are good, guys. My first coat of primer on these is going to look freaking awesome. That's before any sandpaper touches it. You don't really want to sand fiberglass, because what you do, with sandpaper, it cuts these fibers, okay? And we don't want to get into that. You don't ever want to sand your fiberglass. I'm going to show you in the next step how you should prepare it for primer. You can be scared to get a little extra on there at first. You gotta get enough on there for it to soak in. And you gotta go past your edge. And on these leading edges, you gotta go at least halfway. At least halfway into it. It's better to go just to frickle over halfway, and you won't have as much body work on filling and sanding and stuff on that nose or on the leading edges. And I like my leading edges to look really good. I don't know, when I walk up to especially a shiny, pretty airplane, my eyes are kind of drawn to the leading edge of the wing. I don't know, it always kind of have. You can really tell a lot about a paint job just by the leading edge of the wings. You know, you can tell if it's going to be a good paint job or it's going to be a bad paint job just from that. It's kind of like me being a tile man. I could walk in your house and look at your first couple tiles there by the front door. Tell you if you did it yourself or it was just a bad job. I can tell a do-it-yourselfer in a minute. Do-it-yourselfers never cut the door jambs. They always cut the tile around the door jamb. We got saws that, you know, they got a height adjustment on them, and we like skill saws that sit flat on the ground with them and cut the bottom of your jambs and slide tiles underneath it. Most do-it-yourselfers just cut around that stuff. Like my tile job in my house, man. Here it is. I built this house 10 years ago. And my tile still all looks brand new, man. I used epoxy grout. Yeah, it's epoxy with sand mixed in it. Oh yeah, it's some rugged stuff. You can't never stain it. You can't stain it. It don't get dirty. Cleans up with a mop. And since my grout all looks so good, well, my tile still looks brand new. You know, it ain't cracking. My tiles ain't cracking. Because we use that good cement board underneath too. And now we gotta get this edge. You know, little Dixie cups actually work really good for fiberglassing because you don't mix up very much at a time. And it's probably got a 30-minute pot life before it starts getting thick. Enough to where it can't use it. Now we just kind of squeegee the extra off. Don't want to leave it puddled nowhere. Look at that, don't look like there's any there. And then just squeeze it out. I'll need to let this stuff set about 2 hours. Right after Gold Rush tonight. Be ready to second coat. Okay, bam. Here we have a finished queen. Okay. I did this a while ago, earlier today. I second coated it. And it's ready to roll. Okay. I got some more knives ordered. I can't believe I went through all them ones I had. For Hobby King, I gave a bunch away too, though. Okay. Now, I'm in here with the razor knife. Trim this edge. Trim it off past center. And that right there is going to be the cleanest edge you ever seen in your life. From doing nothing to it. All I got to do is scrape it and prime it, man. This edge here, I'm going to block it, and I'm going to glass this back edge as well. Resin, I'm scraping it. Bang. Okay, now you guys will think, oh, now it's ready to sand, ain't it? No. We don't sand her. No, we don't sand her. Take a brand new razor blade. Brand new single edge razor blade, get it at any hardware store. Hold that in your fingers. Just like that. See how I'm holding that straight up? Got to get a really tight grip on it. Okay. Ready? Mark second. It's actually not dry enough yet. I'm gonna have to let it sit overnight, I think. Kicked up the heater a little bit, see where it's just gumming up. Yeah, I'll show you guys that tomorrow. No big deal. You can see, feel how smooth it is though. It's right there. So it should be coming off in flakes, big flakes. It's just a little wet. That little spot right there, that's just baby butt smooth. You feel how rough that is? Put your hand in your Fiberglass box. Feel how rough that is? Then come over here. That's like a sandpaper, and this is like your kitchen countertop, man. You know. It's that much different. Wait till tomorrow when I'm able to scrape it. I thought I could get this all stepped out for you and show you all the steps in one video. I tried, guys. Probably the ways a little bit. I could have made it. But we'll scrape her down for you tomorrow. They'll be ready to prime up. I'm gonna do some priming this weekend. I gotta flip these over and get the other side. I'm gonna get Chris's wing tonight. I'm just gonna be glassing full out here. Sit out here and watch Gold Rush and do some glassing tonight. How's that sound? And I'll get the priming done this weekend. I'll get these ready to prime all tomorrow. I'm going to start putting panel lines on tomorrow and Sunday.